This story comes from the pages of Venom War Wolverine Issue number 3. Please support the official release. The final issue opens where we see Emily giving a farewell to Wolverine, thanking the man for saving her and her son from the venomized zombies that were plaguing their town. As Logan headed out the door, he was stopped by the woman, who clearly had feelings for him, and asked if he would stay for her and her son to be the positive male role model they never had, on account of the years of abuse she had faced from her ex-husband Keen, who had come into contact with a symbiote recently and was rightfully sliced to bits by Wolverine after trying to kill Emily and her son. Not believing he was good enough of a man to fill that family void, Logan gave his final goodbyes and drove off into the distance. During his journey into the bitter winter cold, Wolverine began to have second thoughts as he thought of Emily's son Flynn. The boy had just lost his father, who had mentally manipulated him for years, and was now left all alone to deal with the aftermath. Logan knew he wasn't the best man for the job, but decided to head back to the snowy village in Maine so he could attempt to aid the troubled youth, not fully realizing the sinister severity of the situation. In the last issue, Flynn had secretly kept and infected himself with his dead father's zombified head, purposefully turning himself into one of their members. Arriving back to the inn, Wolverine discovered that he may have been too late as he saw a bloodied corpse right at the building entrance. Making his way inside, the mutant would see the rather disturbing aftermath of the infected Flynn's assault, where he saw countless bodies buried in rubble and blood splashed upon the walls, Emily completely missing. Tearing open his coat, revealing his iconic yellow and blue uniform, Logan dashed outside into the ivory storm, using his superhuman abilities to track the scent of death, one that would hopefully lead him to the infected child. As he would get closer and closer, the X-Man would climb a mountain, where, much to his horror, would be grabbed into a horde of symbiotic undead, all clawing for their bits of mutant flesh. Fighting against his attackers, Logan would soon see their leader, which was the infected Flynn, whose body had now merged with the head of his father, resulting in a disturbing Venom zombie amalgamation which held his own mother hostage. Yelling out for Emily, Wolverine would witness the zombiote beast gallop away to the shore, where it would come across a boat and would viciously kill the fisherman on board and hijack the vessel, all while his mother pleaded for her life, asking where he was taking her. Not willing to allow more innocents to die, Logan's ferocity kicked in, where he tore into the mountain of zombified attackers. Covered in the blood of the undead, the mutant rushed through the bitter cold, where he came to a cliffside and witnessed the boat journeying out to sea. Not having the time to even think about his next move, the man instinctively dived down to the waters below, where he kinda missed the water and came smacking down upon the rocks, turning into a gory mess of busted muscle tissue and organs. While this would have killed literally anyone else, our boy Wolverine's healing factor would kick in, as the current would then carry him out to sea. We would see that his body's torture had just begun, where his adamantium skeleton would then cause him to immediately sink to the seabed, creating a non-stop cycle of life and death, where he would drown over and over again. Aboard the ship, the horrified Emily would try to speak to the humanity within her son, where the sickening voice of Keen would take over, calling the boy weak. Believing this weakness to be a result of Emily's upbringing of the boy, Keen then dangled the poor woman over the ocean waves, where he planned to kill her. Just in the nick of time, Logan, full of seawater and even fuller of Keen's nonsense, emerged, and combated the beast where the boat would be torn to pieces. Managing to cut Emily free, the mutant soon realized he had played right into the creature's hands as it pinned him to the ground, slicing and piercing his flesh. It would then pull him closer and bite down right upon his head, where his healing factor would soon be overridden, becoming an infected zombie-oat Wolverine once more. Absolutely sick of her ex-husband's insanity, the freed Emily used this distraction to grab the boat's sonar device and used its sound waves to melt the symbiote off Flynn and Keen, bringing them back to normal. Well, as normal as Keen could be. Bro is still an abusive and manipulative scumbag who's a rotting head. Bro deserves the zombie Deadpool microwave treatment, if I'm being honest. Comforting the boy, saying that he was now safe and free of the symbiote's control, we'd see that it wasn't the alien making him act this way, as Flynn began shouting at his mother, still under the belief that she made him weak. The very disturbed young man would then rush to the ship's controls and pilot it towards a forming whirlpool, where he attempted to kill both his mother and himself. Before the pair could fall overboard, they were snatched by the symbiotic webs of the infected Wolverine, who then pulled Flynn close and in a demonic-sounding voice asked if he were worth saving. Before he could turn the boy into lunch, Logan's healing factor once again kicked into overdrive right at the last moment, as it would expunge the infected slime right through his flesh. Puking out the rest of the alien bile, Wolverine and the rest would brace for impact as the ship would come smashing into the raging whirlpool. Later on, we'd see the battered Logan come ashore, revealing that he managed to save both Emily and Flynn. The heartbroken woman would then confide in the hero, saying that it wasn't just the symbiotes trying to kill her on this day. It was her very own son, acting on his own volition. Not gonna lie guys, I was kinda hoping Flynn didn't make it. Any dude who goes to hurt his own mom is an absolute loser. Asking Logan if he planned on staying this time, the mutant then collapsed to the dock floor and told her that for now, he was just going to sit here and wait for this all to blow over.